I'm never sleeping, cause sleeping is the cause of your death. Live by the code too, I take my last breath. I'm never sleeping, I hustle while you rest. We from the cooking too, ain't nothing left.
And I'm here with another episode of Reality Round with my co-host,
Chris Black, Boss Hawk 215. Hey, listen, man. I'm telling all the fans right now, man, yo, I really appreciate it. Me and my co-host, Reality Round Bullard, we really appreciate this, man. It's been so many views, so many comments. Just keep them coming, keep it going. And again, just post what y'all want us to talk about, too. It's not about us, it's about all of us. So, with that being said, we getting into, of course, my man got the Bulls layout on, whatever. I mean, I got to give him his respect. Bulls fans, since I've known him, it's been a lot of years, long time. We got to get into the Last Dance.
Yes, sir.
Let's start it off with this, man. You know what? Let's get the elephant out the room. Michael Jordan, how do you feel about his Last Dance? You know, like, how do you feel about what was said about him in the Last Dance, and you know, about the naysayers?
You know what, man? I'm going to tell you like this. And this is what I've been expressing about the whole situation since I saw The Last Dance. Over the years, right? Now, one of the biggest complaints anybody has ever had regarding Jordan is that the league never, ever tried to put Mike in a negative light at no point in time. Like, they would do it with other players, but they never attempted to do it with Mike. You can't say that now. They showed a human side to Mike. You seen Mike being one of the fellas. Mike was cussing. Mike was chilling. He was on him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was showing everybody, look, just because I could dunk this motherfucking ball, that don't mean I won't bust a nigga balls in the back out of camera view. That's what I mean. And that's all he was doing. He was breaking balls left and right, busting on Krause, busting on everybody. I mean, but that's the human side of him. And I think they did a very, very good job of capturing that. So, I mean, for everybody who complained that he never had his moment on what we call our hot seat, you know, but right. You got to put that to bed now, because like I said, if you never thought this side of him ever existed, all of those theories got dispelled with The Last Dance. I think it was done very well. I think it was a nice balance. I think it was a good balance of his accomplishments as well as his stumbling blocks, his trials and tribulations. We all have them because we all knew. That's just the way this life is set up. So me personally, I love it.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think to me personally, whatever, I think I can kind of piggyback off of that. Like, I really think some things you're like, yo, this dude can't do this or this dude can't do that. Like, how is he so perfect? And I think, you know, at some point in time, you know, you got to just give Mike props, man. You do, man. He handled the outside pressure, which now is not the outside pressure that it is today. But he went through a lot of things to pave the way for a lot of people today to not have to go through that or to be prepared for that. He can have a conversation with them. I think he had conversations with even down to players to the Hornets. Like, hey, listen, man, you know, like, this going to happen, that's going to happen. We might not be winning, but when we start winning, you know, X, Y, and Z. You know, so I got to give Mike his props on that note. So I really feel as though, like, you know, it was a good depiction of that team. Or those teams, rather. And I think that, you know, it was cool to see, man. It was cool to see because nowadays everything is so social media. Everything is so readily available. And we didn't get that chance to see that. So I really appreciated that. I think it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful thing. I knew it was beautiful when my girl was watching it with me. That had to be beautiful. She don't get down with the sports like that. Got you.
But now, you know what? I would like to also further that one point you made about the social media aspect of it. I like how they took the time to point that out. He built up who he was in homes around the world strictly off of what he did on the court, baby. He didn't have Instagram and Facebook and all of these other platforms. He didn't have none of that. But still, there was nowhere Nowhere you could go in the world where you did not know who Michael Jordan was.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course, yeah, of course, of course, of course.
So just imagine had there been social media and things of its type around back then, what heights could he have taken it to then?
You know what though? Playing devil's advocate, what heights and what downfalls could he have took too? Because Michael's an avid gambler. He smoked cigars. He drunk his liquor. I mean, on the second three-peat. So it wasn't like, he wasn't an angel. Maybe at the first three-peat, maybe he was, but who knows? Maybe that's when he was getting into his grown man status. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what type of downfalls or whatever could have came about. So
you know what would have came about? Him not retiring and winning 8 straight instead of 6.
We already been through this on the podcast, I believe, man. I really think, I don't know, and I'm going to say this again, I really feel as though 2 3-peats was a lot. That he might have needed that break, though. I think he might have needed that break. He might have needed that break to break up the monotony and, and to kind of just be him a little bit. Because, I think he was the first actual athlete in basketball. Well, I ain't going to say the first. Like, Magic had it first, and then Bird had it, and then it was like he took it to another height. They didn't have cereals. They didn't have an actual new branding him as the god, pretty much. Like, so the only thing I can say about that is, man, everybody from this generation behind him got to thank him. You got to thank Mike. Besides my nigga AI, because AI took a lot of bumps and bruises too. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, I got a lot of love and respect for AI. A lot of love and respect.
Word up.
But if everybody else got to thank Mike, he got to thank Mike too. As a matter of fact,
he did.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that. I mean, you heard it from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? He knew. Well, he knows. Not he knew. He knows what it is when it comes to the pecking order.
And you know what, though? I gotta respect you. Whatever. I gotta say, it's been a long time from you calling him a braided bum. I think it was. I don't know. But I mean, I'm not gonna get into all that right now. But that's all good though. It's all good. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
I don't recall.
You said what?
I don't recall that.
Anybody that knows us. No, that was your nickname for the young boy. Like, but it's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. It's straight.
Listen, man. The only time I may have made a comment or two about that man braids. See, first of all, let me explain something.
Okay.
Anything in the way of negativity that ever came from me, you guys brought it out of me. I was humble.
So that time I came on your steps and I was showing you the paper and you smacked the paper out of my hand and you stepped on it and kind of ruined my paper, whatever. I was trying to save it for a memento. You know what? I'm not going to even get into all that. I'm really not. It was only a few people that was out there that day, so I'm not going to get into all that. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good.
Once again, I don't recollect that. I got a lot of love for AI. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but all I'm saying to you is all that stuff about braided bums and all that, it kind of escapes me. I don't know.
That's cool. That's what's up. You know what? That shows growth. That shows growth as a human being. But anyway, let's get back to Mike. So now my whole thing was this. The only thing I can say about Mike is, and you know what? It's not a bad thing, whatever. Mike was a bigger asshole than I thought he was, but I understood the mission he was on. In order to beat the best, you got to be the best. And I'm not trying to relinquish this title with anybody. Mike went through a lot of getting beat up by the Celtics, the Pistons, and maybe the Sixers. I don't know what was going on back then. I hope he didn't let Doc punch him in the face or something like that on the slide. I don't know. But I'm just saying whatever. Mike went through a lot to get to what he got to. And I respect him for that.
You ain't got no choice but to respect that.
Okay.
I mean, listen, look, there's certain guys that when certain situations arise, you don't mind going to war with them. But then you got guys that when you do go to war, you know you're going to live to see that sunrise yet again.
True. True indeed.
J all day, baby. 6 in the finals, 6 MVPs. I don't even know why these other conversations have even come to be.
I mean, we talked about that on a couple of episodes, and I think that the more we talk about it, I mean, the more you're right. I'm not going to sit up here and dispute that fact. I mean, because if I'm going into the finals, which is a war, which is a total war, and everybody is bloodthirsty, and I got one guy that I want on my squad, it's definitely him. It's definitely him, man. I can't even.
Man, I will ask anybody, if the game is on the line and it's your bread that's out there that you just laid down, who you want with the rock in his head? I can only think of one man.
Especially when you're going to get a call and a push off, but.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Just saying.
You know what? I think Bob Costas put that bullshit to bed.
Man, anybody worried about Bob Costas? Bob Costas ain't picked up a ball no more than I have. So I ain't worried about Bob Costas. What the hell you got to say?
He just made a hell of a point. That motherfucker was stumbling anyway like he had some Russian vodka.
Nah, man, nah. I you know what? I can't get jiggy with that shit right there. I really can't. I can't. It was a push off to me. To me, it was a push off.
Maybe
a push off is a push off. Bottom line.
You can't get jiggy with it, but he damn sure got jiggy that day.
I mean, whatever, man. Say what you want to say, whatever. You want to talk about that man, whatever, when he was guarding one of the greatest, and that was his job to guard Michael Jordan, whatever. That was his job. I still feel as though, like, you know, he did. It was an older MJ. I'm not saying MJ back in '87 he could have guarded him. Hell no, he couldn't have. But at that point in time, that was that man's job. I think that man did an adequate enough job, you know?
Okay, well, I got something to say about all this pushing off shit. It sure is funny how everybody always want to say, it was a push off. I
already know this is coming. Go ahead.
I noticed nobody says a fucking word about what Reggie Miller did to him. Oh, yeah, you're sitting there.
Okay. All right.
Now,
that's a good point.
Push off.
That definitely was. That definitely was.
That's reality.
That definitely was. That definitely was, man. But now let's look at it this way too, man. Let's get in a little bit of his legacy, man. I mean, MJ legacy is crazy, man. It's crazy to the point where as though I kind of felt bad for his sons when I knew they was playing basketball. How can you live up to the greatest? It's like you can't, and we already seen how that played out. I mean, the greatest basketball sneakers of all time. I mean, people was, and look, and this is the one thing. Whatever, LeBron, I understand you got some cold sneaks. LeBron got some classics. I ain't gonna front to you, sneaker wise. But you could never ever look. Mike could release these joints every year, and everybody's gonna flood the stores, flood the online stores. I really feel as though we have seen in our time the greatest athlete ever. And it takes a lot for me to say.
Well, I mean, you know, I respect your honesty because I know, you know, it kind of like, it's like throwing salt in the wound when you think back.
Ooh, he went there. Okay.
Everybody at some point in time got to kiss the ring. Everybody does. And like I said before, when I think about it, I kind of liken this situation to the late, great Christopher Wallace situation, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G. When the Source magazine anointed him the king of New York, that got under the skin of a lot of cats. And everybody started chasing it. And the difference between his situation and their situation, he ain't never have to once call himself that.
It was given to you.
He referenced it a couple of times after it got put out there by somebody else.
Right.
But he didn't just wake up one day and start every track, I'm the king. No.
Every once in a while, you knew what he was talking about.
Every once in a blue. But the same thing can be said about Mike. Now, ESPN, and I mean, anybody that knows me know I don't agree with everything they say, but they just went on ahead in their way, put the whole debate to bed about who the best is. There's still a lot of cats riding around out here with blinders on who still can't seem to see it. But homie, when you talking about the best, number 23 is the only one that can beat.
Hey man, you know what? That's the one argument we could never ever. I ain't even gonna say this, whatever. You know what? That's a side conversation. Anyway, so like I said, I already progressed. Or proclaim my situation as far as Mike Jordan or whatever. It's not more I can say about him, man. You know, he did what he did. You gotta respect it. You gotta love it because we all grew up on him. You know, and that's all I got to say. I just wish George Karl would have put Gary Payton on him a couple more games earlier. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. That's about it. That's all I can say.
And there goes the salt in the wound.
So that's all I can say. That's all I can say, man. I can't say no more than that. No more, no less. But however, so now, is there anything you want to say, whatever, you know, I mean, you got the attire on, whatever. Do you want to bury this once and for all?
I mean, I just feel as though all this piece did, The Last Dance, it just made it obvious what has been obvious. You understand? It solidified it. It put that seal on there, just like how a notary takes that notary seal.
Right,
and
put that stamp. Yep,
put
that stamp.
That's exactly what this series did. I mean, it's no way you could look at the travels that man had to take, man, the valleys he had to go through, the punches that he had to endure. In some cases, literally. And he still just kept coming. You know what it reminds me of? Remember Rocky 1? No, excuse me. Matter of fact, no. Rocky 2. It was Rocky 2.
Okay.
When Apollo wanted Rocky and his trainer. He still got the belt. Let's go. Let's move on. But he asked him, he said, well, why do you feel like that? He told Apollo. He said, I saw you beat that man like I never seen no man get beat before. But he just kept coming after you. That's what Jordan did to the Pistons. That's what he did to the Knicks. That's what he just kept coming after him. And the difference is he's real. Rocky is fake. And that's reality.
Well, hey, listen, man. You know what? The one thing I can say is this, man. You know, every Batman needs a Robin. So he needed his help too. So
no doubt.
So the 37 points a game, 35, 30s, didn't matter. He needed to have a solid team around him to be able to accomplish what he needed to accomplish. So let's respect that right there.
And he helped create that team. He didn't trade for him. He didn't get him signed in-house.
Okay. All right. So we're going there with it. But you know what? I'm not gonna let you do it. So let's get to the next subject on The Last Dance. Scottie motherfucking Pippen.
My man.
My thoughts on Pip is probably the greatest that I ever saw wing defender ever. I mean, we got the Kawhi Leonards out here, you know, we see that. But he didn't have to do what Pip had to do. Pip had to go out here, whatever, and really take because every team, the Bulls had a target on their back. He had to go. When Mike was going off, everybody else wanted to go off too, but he had to go and guard that best team's player. And this one I knew Pip was the best I ever saw. For him to guard Karl Malone, who was 6'9", 260, a walking weightlifting machine, that's when I knew. I was like, yo, this boy is the best defender I ever saw on the way. On the way. And, you know, I really feel as though he got done dirty. I think he got done dirty. But I think when he got done dirty, he got a salty taste in his mouth and he started acting like a little bitch. So I will say that. Yeah, I'm calling a nigga a bitch. I said it. Fuck him. He was acting like a little bitch. Yeah. Scottie Pippen.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold up. Now, everybody wants to feel appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to feel that they're getting their worth. So why is it when my man raised his voice about his lack of funds, now everybody want to try to label him a jerk?
So here's the whole thing, whatever. You already knew you was getting jerked. You knew that for years. You knew that after the first 3. So now all of a sudden, whatever, this is where it started at. Phil said, no, Tony taking that shot, that game-winning shot. Oh, I'm a pal. Oh, my God, no, man, I'm not coming in the game. Fuck Phil. It's about your squad.
I agree.
The guys you've been rolling with. It's about your team.
I agree.
If you got a problem with the call from the coach, you deal with that after the game.
I agree.
So, I mean, like, with that.
I'm not saying that he was right in the way.
No, wait. I wasn't even done. And I want to get done with this so you can finish whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
That and then having the surgery during the last 3-peat into the season. Dude, you already knew this. Oh, I just want to just chill, whatever. Come on, man. Come on, Pippen. Come on.
Okay, so it was wrong for him to have the surgery.
That late, yes, it was.
But it was okay for Rodzilla to go smack somebody with a steel chair?
You knew what you was getting into with Rodman. You knew that. You knew he was already off the fucking chain. You already knew that. You knew that when he came from the Spurs. He started off with the Spurs with the crazy ass hair. You knew he wasn't right, but you knew the production was going to get out of him. You knew that. That's the difference.
That's because you know a bully is a bully. That don't mean you let him get away with punching you in the mouth. And I'm going to say that again. Just because you know a bully is a bully does not mean you let him get away with punching you in your motherfucking mouth.
Well, Mike was cool with it. Shit, so.
Mike was cool with what?
Mike was cool. So, from what I understand from The Last Dance, going into the whole Rodman situation, it was more or less a thing, whatever. He said, I need 2 weeks off from the first vacation. And Phil was like, nah, that's not going to work, X, Y, and Z. Mike was going to be pissed, that and third, He's all right, give me 48 hours. He called Mike into the office, and they all talked about it. And Mike told him, like, yo, you give him 48 hours, he's never going to come. We don't know when he's coming back.
For sure.
Then, so that happened, whatever. So it started off at 2 weeks. So you let Rodman test you. He tested you, poked you, pried you. Let me get 48 hours. I'm going to turn this thing into about a week and a half anyway. So let's be real here. Let's be real.
He tested the front office and his head coach because those are not Michael Jordan's calls. He could give an opinion. He could give you his view on it. He could put his slant on it.
So the GOAT can't say no?
What's going on?
The GOAT couldn't say no? GOAT couldn't say no. We ain't doing that.
If the GOAT say no, but the owner, the motherfucker that write everybody's checks, if the owner say yes, what you think gonna happen? Come on now. Come on.
Okay. All right.
So my thing is this though. Just to finish off the Pippen thing. Do I agree with how he handled it? No. Do I agree with him being pissed off about not getting that opportunity to be the hero for a change? I agree with him. He got every right to be upset about that because he was the second fiddle all that time if that was his opportunity to be number one.
Yeah, just turn up. Yeah, exactly.
And they took that from him. And they took that.
But now, so as Phil being the coach, right? If I'm not mistaken, Tony Kukoc had hit 3 shots, 3-game winners already that season. So as the coach, why not go with the best option?
Okay, understood. Once again, Tony Kukoc, in a sense, he earned the right to take the shot as well.
And he was the better shooter.
However,
I'm listening.
Maybe had you given Scottie at least a choice in the matter, maybe Scottie says, no, you know what? I'm a deferred.
Scottie's taking that shot. He's taking that shot, and he probably misses, and y'all lose the game.
Maybe not. Maybe he takes it, maybe he doesn't. You never know. I mean, think about it. You ever heard about that game where they say Bill Winnington and Jordan combined for 57 points?
Nah, I'm lost about that one.
That was the game where after Jordan dropped 55 on the Knicks.
Okay, double nickel on the Garden. Okay, all right.
The last shot of the game, Mike drew the defense, kicked it out to Bill, and Bill did what Bill does. Swat! Won the game.
Wait, so Bill did what Bill... Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to hear again what you said. Bill did what... Bill does.
That's how Bill made his living for the Bulls. Almost like pick and pop type style. He would get to, hey, listen, them baseline jump shots was legendary. He would pop those. He popped those, bro.
Okay. I mean, if you decide if you're going to live or die, or Bill Winnington hitting a baseline jump shot, shit. Matter of fact, you know what? I wouldn't even trust myself. I would trust you to hit a baseline jump shot before Bill Winnington. Just throwing it out there. But go ahead.
Mike trusted him, and what happened? Swat!
Okay. All right. Woo! Man. All right. Okay. Learn something today. So you fuck with Bill Winnington. All right, cool. I understand that. I get it. Now I get it. Well, let me ask you a question though. Just on the side order side of type of things, whatever. Are you able to get a Bill Winnington jersey from Mitchell and S? Probably not, right? So why are we even talking about him?
I ain't seen no Tony Kukoc jerseys hanging the fuck up in no Mitchell. So I mean, come on. To be real, I mean, listen. Since you were a shit.
Oh man, yo. I swear, I knew this last dance was gonna be hell. I swear, for me, I knew it was gonna be hell. All right, so let's go to D Rodman, man. Let's go to D Rod, man. Let's talk about him, man. Yo, matter of fact, I want you to lead this one off. Dennis Rodman. How did you feel about Dennis Rodman? And I want you to get into him being a Piston and then becoming a Bull.
I think I'm gonna start there right from the rip because I got to be honest with you, bro. I remember back when the reports first came out that the Bulls were considering bringing him on. I didn't like it at all. And I didn't like it at all because I had some very vivid memories of some very foul shit that he did to MJ, Pippen, a couple of Chicago Bull members. Like, I figured, like, well, damn, like, he was part of the curse.
Right. So almost like bringing the enemy on board and shit. Like, yeah, I feel you.
And I didn't understand it. I didn't dig it. I mean, no, I ain't gonna say I didn't understand it because that was when Horace Grant pulled that flim flam he pulled. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he did what he felt he had to do for himself in his career at that particular moment. So it is what it is. But back to Rodman though, I remember not being exactly thrilled with the idea of him coming on board. And then when he did get there, all of the antics that came along with him.
Yeah, at that point in time, he was already on trip mode. Like, he definitely was tripping.
Right.
He was already tripping.
like I said a couple minutes ago with the whole Rodzilla thing. Like, you know, him and Hulk Hogan, and he called Hulk Hogan on his nasty side of his career where he was running around with them, fucking.
I think it was NWO, right?
NWO, yeah, you know, man, come on, man. Like, listen, man, him and Eric Bischoff sitting around them tight ass jeans on, smoking cigars, sipping drinks, man. Look, my thing is this: they should have asked that boy. They should have asked him. They should have said, "Listen, man, is you gonna play ball or is you gonna do that?" And speaking, you know what? Speaking of Karl Malone earlier, you put an image in my head when you start talking about him being 6'9" and 260 because he was wrestling too. Like, I turned on. Listen, when I turned on my TV and seen that shit, and they had, because you know Malone tall as shit, he's 6'9", so they probably didn't like the way he looked in trunks because they put that nigga in some long ass fucking hot pants and shit. Like, I'm trying to
what's going on Karl Malone, man? Y'all trash nigga twice in a double time. Like, I don't understand it. Damn, man.
Man, I'm just telling you what I saw, brother. I'm not going.
All right, man.
You ask me a question, I'm answering the question. My thing is, I never really was happy about it. I settled on it. When he got there, I said, all right, fuck it. He a bull now. Gotta root for him. That's how I looked at it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, though. It was a couple of times. His bouts with Alonzo Mourning had me cracking the fuck up.
Yo, Rodman was a funny motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he did have me cracking up a couple times.
And with Karl Malone, too, though. And with Karl Malone. In the finals, yo.
That shit was something. You know, all that, they kept tripping each other and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck that was. And then, yo, I'm going to tell you something, though. You ain't going to like this, but when he was fucking with your man, Sean Kemp.
Yo, man, wait. First of all, we not even on that right now. Like, yo, man, leave my squad out of this shit, dog. Come on, man. No, we're not even talking about that, man. Fuck out of here, man. That bullshit, Brian. Come on, man.
Well, listen, I'm just saying we talking about Rodman. So I'm trying to put it all into perspective. Like I don't know who it was at the free throw line for y'all, but when Rodman was standing there facing Kent, I think it was Kent with his arms behind his back, smiling.
It was fucking Frank Bukowski. That's who it was.
All right. My bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, now you got me going to my bag right now. I don't know. You say, all right, close the wound up. I'm trying to do that, but you keep opening the shit up. Like, come on, man.
These were some of Rodman's funniest moments, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Word up. I hear you.
When he kicked the shit out that fraud ass cameraman, that was funny as fuck. Remember that? That's dog. The way that man, I mean, I understand you just got kicked, bro. But the way I saw that man, I saw when the dollar signs entered his fucking head. I could tell.
I'm not even mad at him, no. Yo.
I ain't mad at him either. But that shit was so fucking fraud for you.
He did kick the shit out of him. Well, he tried to kick him, but he really, I don't think he landed the way he wanted to land.
Hell no. Come on, man.
Yeah, real shit, yo. Real shit, bro.
Yeah, but that's how I saw that whole situation. I mean, once he became a bull, I had to root for him, man. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
So the way I felt was more or less like, okay, this is another run. All right, peeped it. I'm like, damn. Like, yo, so then you got to deal with Pippen. And you know, one thing, you know what? Let me give Pip props for this one, whatever. Pip actually, when he played that game with that, when his back was fucked up,
yeah,
I got to give him props for that. I got to put that out there. Whatever. Yo, Pippen, if you ever see this joint, whatever, Scottie, you was a fucking G for that joint right there, dog. I mean, that shit ended the T-Mac career, in a lot of people's careers, whatever, and you still went on. So I gotta give you your props, man. Definitely gotta give you your fucking props. Even you was out there, whatever, just what was the line back in the day? He was out there chucking, just scuffling along. But he was making plays though. It was crazy as shit. I'm like, damn, this is still making plays. Like, yo. So I gotta give him his props for that. But getting back to Rodman, man. I'm going to go away from basketball. I'm going to go away for a second. Because you said everything in basketball-wise, whatever, probably the greatest rebounder we ever seen with our eyes. Honestly. Because he didn't give a shit And then a couple of times, whatever, during, I think it was the flu game, he might have hit a key jump shot. He had other shit he could do. That wasn't his focus. Now, so I'm gonna get in a couple things, whatever. First of all, everybody, oh, Rodman, where this, that, and the third, he was fucking all the bitches. I'm sorry. Rodman was nailing everything. Carmen Electra, Tony Braxton, Madonna. Like, yo, he nailing everybody. Shit they got posters of.
But whoa, all right. Let me just say this. I'm not going to interrupt you long. I just want to sneak this in there since you said that. It seemed like most females got a little fucking weirdness. They weird in that way.
It's a twinge.
They like that weird ass guy. You know what I'm saying? That guy that on any given day could throw on.
Especially in Hollywood.
Exactly. So I'm not really surprised that he did that. I'm not shocked. I mean, like it's
shit. Yo, the nigga said I'm marrying myself. I'm like, what the fuck? But then come to find this nigga, yo, he got Carmen Electra waiting for him at the hook. Like, it's a publicity stunt. He was must-see TV. Rodman was must-see TV. And I don't think he knew I think he knew what he was doing, but he didn't capitalize on it the right way.
Wasn't he fucking with Madonna at one point too?
Yeah, so I said Madonna, Tony Braxton. I was surprised to see Tony Braxton. I'm like, yo, like, what the hell? You serious? Oh, yo, it was a story, whatever. It's a story, whatever. It's documented. John Solly said when he joined the Bulls, right? You know, him and Rodman was old teammates. Everything good, whatever. He said Rodman had an entourage. Just Rodman. He said, we going to Morton Steakhouse. Come out with me. They go, whatever, do whatever they doing, whatever. And he said it was this girl there, right? It was a girl. And she looked like Madonna. I'm sorry, not Madonna. Marilyn Monroe.
Got you.
And Solly was like, yo, something ain't right. Because she just too cool, too straight. It was a fucking training. But now here's the whole thing. Rodman wasn't up on her. Dude wasn't up on him. It was more so some cool shit, whatever. But he said, everybody was trying to get at her. And he said, he looked at Solly like, yo, you good? What's up? And he was like, not my speed. I'm good. So looked at him again a couple hours later. Yo, you good? Not my speed, man. That's not what I do. He already knew Rodman was off the fucking chain. And then Rodman hit with a joint like, yeah, all these bulls, they try and get at him, but that's my homie. It takes a twisted motherfucker to do some shit like that.
And you know what? See, that's the kind of shit over the years and going into the years, I will always remove myself from.
Yeah.
Because you know what? There's certain environments, right? There's certain environments that you don't need to be seen in. Right. If you're not into certain shit.
Yeah.
Your man said it best. Jigga said, a wise man told me don't argue with fools. Because people from a distance can't tell who is who. You feel me? That shit right there applies to a hell of a lot. So because I believe that in my heart, there's certain shit that once I find out what it is, I'm out, bro. I can't sit around that. Nah, can't do it.
See, Sally joint was like, Jerry Springer was there. He's like, I'm trying to get cool with Jerry Springer. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going on the show. Like, that was his whole, but like, you know, he said, look, and he looked again, was like, nah, something ain't right. Like, nah, I'm cool off that. Like, I'm straight. Now, I don't know if going down the path with her, Robin gonna put out a story like, no, the nigga tried it. Who knows? I'm just saying what John Solly said.
You know what? Hopefully for his sake, no shit like that don't come out down.
You already know. But to say the least, whatever, I respect Rodman just for his hustle, his grit, his grime, just on the court. Rodman didn't give a fuck. He was gonna do whatever. And I think a lot of people understand Rodman, whatever. Rodman went through a lot. You gotta think he was a 22-year-old freshman back in college. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when he got drafted and everything was cool, and then the Pistons kind of, that was his family. You know what I'm saying? So I respect Rodman. I do. Definitely respect Rodman, man. I ain't got nothing but love for the brother, man. I hope he, I mean, you know, and it seemed more or less like as he got older, he out of the dumb shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, like I don't have nothing against him personally. You know what I'm saying? My disdain for him and any other Detroit Piston, it ended on the ball court because I don't know none of these guys personally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but you know, I do respect his, like you said, I do respect his grit, like, you know, his determination, the way he attacks the ball, the way he does bring a lot of little things to the table that adds up in a big way through the course of the game. He can make other teams' top players expend a lot of energy that they normally would not expend if they wasn't fucking with him for 48 minutes. So yeah, like I mean, I get it. I see the worth. I see the value, no doubt.
I really think he was really, really important to I think for the Pistons and y'all. And the one thing, you know what? I know you want to get into this, bro. How do you really feel about Isiah Thomas? Just on the side note.
You know what? This ain't even gonna take long, man. I think Isiah Thomas, talent-wise, was a hell of a talent. One of the best point guards ever. But from what I see, or what I've seen when he was on that court, I just feel like Bull had a lot of shit with him. I think he took pleasure in that whole bad boy image.
Yeah.
You know,
most definitely.
I think he took pleasure in that. Him and Bill Laimbeer, you know, just to name a few. The only player on that team that I never really got that vibe from for real was maybe Dumars.
Yeah, Dumars was cool.
And I also say Vinny Johnson seemed like he was pretty cool.
Remember, Vinny Johnson's a little bit older than them dudes anyway, so like he already been through the bullshit. So like
right. So like, but Isiah, you know, if some old out of pocket.
Yo, you know what? Not to cut you off, I think Mark Aguirre was kind of a little bit different too.
Well, you know, him and Pippen had that going thing. You forgot about that?
Oh, yeah, you know what? And you know what? Now I think, you know what? As soon as I said it, I'm like, damn, no. That was one of Isaiah's greatest friends. Remember, they played ball together.
Okay.
So you're right. Matter of fact, he was going to fight Magic or whatever. That was in the Pistons ring, whatever. He wanted to fight Magic. And Isiah calmed that down.
And he also, well, you know, if you listen to both sides of that story, Aguirre accuses Pippen of inviting him to the park a lot. Pippen accuses Aguirre of inviting him to the park a lot. Like they each said it about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like the funny thing about it, when Pippen explained it, Pippen was like, you know, he said Aguirre was telling him meet him in the park a lot after the game, and he's like, so I was like, cool. And then he was like, we never got there though. And he's like, at least he didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Say that then. Say that then.
Brother.
Say that then.
I wasn't there. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Neither one of us was. You know what I mean? So like, say that then. All right, Pip, talk your shit. Hey, so listen, you know what? The one thing I think, another thing I think we need to get to is the others, man, on the Bulls. And I think that we're going to make this a real quick segment with the others, man. I feel as though, like, you know, we got to give props to the guys like B.J. Armstrong, Horace Grant, Paxson. You got to give props to guys like Steve Kerr, Randy Brown, Scott Burrell, the guys who actually went in battle that we didn't see. That was the opposing team in practice. Because, back then they did practice.
Oh, no doubt.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we got to give them guys some props, man. And if you guys want to chime in, whatever, trust me, any of y'all other players, please chime in. But I definitely got to get them props out. Craig Hodges, guys like that.
Hold on. I love Craig Hodges when he played, man. I used to, he was instant offense off the bench.
He's a 3-point champion. You got to give him that. He's a 3-point champion.
He drained them motherfucking threes like it wasn't nobody's business. But now, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the people who had an issue with some of the things Mike said, or just with the overall show. And see, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
Like I said last week, if you don't want the label, don't fit the description. Now, when you think about the shit that was said, I'm gonna let you connect the dots on that. I ain't gonna connect them. But when somebody say, that's just like somebody go in a crowded room, damn, somebody stink. But then you the first one. What you mean? Hey, homie. I didn't say.
Is it you? Right? Is it you? Right.
I never said it was you. I just said
right.
For certain players to react the way they did to certain pieces of news getting put out there, I'm gonna say it again. If you don't want the label, don't fit the description. You feel me?
All right, that's cool, whatever. That's what's up, man. And one thing I can say is whatever, Craig Hodges, he did what he had to do to be on that championship team a couple of years. Oh, and to answer the question, I don't know if we was talking about this on or off, but BJ left after 93 and 94, he went to the Hornets. That's how that whole thing happened or whatever. So yeah, he was definitely in the 93 squad. That's another one. BJ Armstrong, whatever. We gotta give him props, whatever, because he was definitely a game changer for y'all. I just feel as though like like everybody can't be the king. Everybody can't be the king, and then you're not gonna like what the king does and X, Y, and Z. But when the king moves, you move with him. And you get to the ultimate goal, you can't be mad.
I mean, a lot of people don't seem to realize it, but that first championship season, if my memory serves me right, Horace Grant averaged right around 15 and 10 for that season.
Okay.
And as far as John Paxson goes, I mean, in the game that decided the first championship, he scored 10 of the last 12 points.
And he had a couple clutch shots against the Suns. So yeah, Paxson was definitely, Paxson was definitely out there. He definitely was. And I think the one thing, whatever, too, man, a lot of people understand, like, and this goes for any superstar, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, you have to have a surrounding cast around you, whatever, who is ready at any moment.
No doubt.
Any moment.
No doubt.
I think maybe, I ain't gonna say Mike was a bully, but he had to slap Steve Kerr like that. He didn't do all that shit, whatever. But I mean, that's neither here. Wait. Let me finish. He had to slap Steve Kerr. I think he might have. I'm not sure. Did he slap Paxson? I'm not sure. Whatever. Don't slap the shooters, man. Come on, man.
I mean, listen, bro. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But all I know is, he got accused of slapping Kerr. I think correct. I mean, if I'm wrong, forgive me. This is just how I remember it. Okay. I think it was something with him and Will Perdue at one time too. Back
yeah. He did slap Will Perdue. He did. I
mean, but like my man said when they asked him about it, he said, I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. It was an open hand. I mean, it wasn't a punch.
Wait. So Mike dropped this on himself?
No, I mean, listen, man. People kept on asking him, did he punch somebody? and all he tried to do was just set the record straight. He said,
man, I tell you one thing or two, whatever. Let me ask you this, whatever. If you practicing with Mike, right, and you miss that open man, if Mike tried to smack you, what you gonna do?
Well, see, ain't nobody smacking the shit out of me.
So all right, so there we go. So fuck him for bullying the white people. Fuck him.
See, that's just it. It wasn't. It didn't stop at white guys. I think Mike would have smacked the living shit out of anybody that was going to try to
Did he
oppose.
slap Pippen?
What was that?
Did he slap Scottie?
Never heard nothing about that.
Okay, all right. Did he slap Craig Hodges?
I mean, recent events might suggest something could have went down. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, brother.
Wait. Did he slap BJ?
I mean, he did say BJ should have known better than been talking that shit he was talking. At the end.
All right. He said that. He definitely said that. All right.
That don't mean he smacked him, but I mean, what you talking about, Mike? I don't know.
Did he slap Pete Myers? Pete Myers like he was on go, no matter what was going on.
You know what?
Mike, stop being a fucking bully and pick on people who can fight back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got. Mike, I hope you see this. If you see this, we fucking made it. Stop doing that shit, okay? All right? Chill out.
Well, like Mike said, he did it the way he did it because he wanted to win. And if somebody had a problem with that, oh well. And if you didn't want to win, you didn't want to be playing with him.
Yo, something wrong with you, man. But I love you to death. All right, so let's move on from here, man. We talked about all three of probably the greatest Bulls, and I think we should have gave Horace Grant a little more time, but I'm sorry, Ho Grant. You kind of was acting like a little hoe, so we had to cut you out. Now let's get into we got into the others. Let's get into this, man. Yo, this is gonna be crazy. The hot seat. Yeah, I hear everybody talking in the comments about the hot seat. We need to be put on the hot seat. So this is what we're gonna do. Until somebody put us on the hot seat, now we're extending this out. We're going to the media right now.
We're in the red zone now, baby.
We're in the red zone. Trust me, man. 20 yards out. So now this is what we're going to do. Brian, your hot seat is?
Skip motherfucking Bayless. Okay, Skip. This is what I got to say to you, my man. I hear you talk a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of shit about a lot of players. Now, I'm a fair guy. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I don't agree with nothing you say. I would be lying if I said that. Because believe it or not, you do say something now and again that I might be like, okay, Skip got a point on that one. But Skip, my question is this. And this question puts your ass in the hot seat. How do you have the audacity to try to critique the game of any ball player when your ass played ball, you averaged 1.4 points per game, Skip? How the fuck can you think anybody ain't good when you averaged 1.4 points a game? Motherfucker, you get 2 points for one basket. So how I'm averaging that? Yo, reality Ron had to ask it.
And so look, I gotta put this on record. But I gotta put this on record, bro. If anybody want to know, it's probably one of the best deep shooters I ever saw in my life, and I saw a lot in Philly. I just gotta throw it out there. I'm sorry.
Wait, roll it. I was still. I'm back, man.
No, so what I said was whatever. You're probably one of the best deep shooters I ever saw in my life.
Okay.
I live in Philly. I've seen a lot of ball players, but a lot of motherfuckers get frustrated with you, whatever, because like you can't do nothing, so you think everybody think you're going in the post is coming from out deep. I got to throw it out there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Got to go with that.
I would never ever average 1.4 points per game in anything. That shit is just a fucking disgrace. Yet somebody somewhere feels this guy is qualified to do what he does. That's a little odd to me, but cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Feel you, bro. Feel you, man. So my end on the hot seat is Max Kellerman. Let me explain to you. I ain't gonna say brother. Let me explain something to you. Stick to boxing. Do that. Do not comment on every other sport. I understand that's your job. I think you might have the wrong job. You're shit at football. You're shit at basketball. I don't even know hockey, golf. You just be saying shit sometimes, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Again, I'm not calling you bro. I'm gonna call you gang. Gang. Chill the fuck out. Sit down, man. You have no clue what it takes, whatever, to eat. Have you ever seen a basketball player next to you? Have you ever balled with somebody? Have you ever picked up a basketball? That's my question. Because sometimes when you go on with Stephen A, you just sound completely stupid. It doesn't matter how many big words you say. It doesn't matter the way you put it. You sound fucking stupid. And I'm going to leave it at that. Please stop talking any other sport besides boxing. And I respect you in the boxing realm because you've been around that all your life. I'm going to leave it at that. So, another episode, man. Bro, man. I think this thing right here, man, I wish it could have lasted longer. But I think that we got to give the people a little bit more. We got to let them drag on a little bit more, man. So, as always, my brother, so I'm you.
One more again, people. I just want to thank you all for kicking it with a couple of brothers that put it down like no others. When a reality check is what you need, the reality realm is where you need to be. It's your boy, Reality Ron Bullard, my main man, Chris Black. We host the Reality Realm. Next week, y'all better be back. Love y'all. Can't wait to do this shit again. And that's reality. Holla.
I'm never sleeping, cause sleeping is the cause of your death. Live by the code till I take my last breath. I'm never sleeping. I hustle while you rest. We from the cooking still ain't nothing left.